Yeah, my name is Zabalaza Mchunu. I'm a VITS graduate. I graduated in honors in traumatic arts. It's that time of the year, maybe a lot of people are like me, who are going through what I went through a lot in my varsity life or whatever. That at this time, I felt like I'm giving up on school or I'm going to drop out. Well, I'm sending out this video because there's a lot of kids out there, or maybe a lot of people, let me not say kids alone, but maybe also even adults that are either in varsity, in high school, wherever you are, and you feel like maybe you are more of a creative, you're more of a people's person, or you strive in art things that are non-academic, then you strive in things that are academic, but then you've got family and you've got all these people around you and friends that keep insisting and persisting that you finish school, you finish your degree, you can't start something and not finish it, and things like that. I'm gonna be honest, it took me 10 years to finish one degree at a university. And I'm saying this not because I'm saying it's the barometer or it's something that you need to now strive for and say, oh, I justify my life and I justify who I am because I'm taking 10 years to finish because there's a guy who posted a video and said he took 10 years. But I'm saying this because in all of that I've learned that when other people make mistakes and they share their mistakes with you and they share what they did and what they did differently with you, the idea is that you learn from them so that you don't have to go through the same process that they have. Because then, just because one life was delayed and yes, it works out for the best, but it doesn't mean your life needs to be delayed. Because then you don't have to go through a phase where I went through, feeling like everyone who's my peer is more successful, they've got houses, they've got, they're far in life. And I'm still here, still scrubbing, still hustling, still starting off and things like that. And at my age, some people are millionaires, some people are, and then you don't have to go through all that pressure. You don't have to go through you don't have to go through regret, a phase where you regret your life. You regret why you went to party, why you drank a lot, or why you lost your life and lost the purpose that you wanted to have. In terms of you were driven at some point. You knew what you wanted to do. You knew why you came to varsity. You knew why you were doing whatever you were doing. But then at some point, all of that got lost away. And you could make any excuse from it. It could be a breakup. It could be a family situation. It could be whatever. It could be a death. It could be just you rebelling because you want to show your parents or whoever is trying to force you. Now, the unfortunate part or the fortunate part is that my situation may be different than yours, in the fact that maybe my family was very supportive in terms of, yeah, they didn't like it. They didn't like my choices. They weren't happy with some of the choices I was making with my life and the length it was taking me, but they pushed me to finish. But then there was a point where I also didn't know where I was going and what I was doing. And then my family started implementing or trying to implement their ideas or their plans for my life. And that didn't, at the time, I felt like, again, they're trying to push me, they're trying to control me, they're trying to tell me how to live my life, and it's my life, and no one else is going to live it but me. Why then they trying to get involved? And then it's only later that I realized that they were doing it out of love, because they have no ideas or they have no plans for them to see you not succeed. So the only way they know best, because they don't know anything else and how to react, when they see you not showing any direction in your life, they feel the need to implement their ways of how to give you direction and hopefully push you in that direction. And most of the times, some of us just rebel and then go even more the wrong direction, instead of just saying, okay, I hear what you guys are saying, I hear that this is what I'm lacking, and then you start implementing in whatever you love. So I studied drama, and now I doing work in terms of industrial theater, brand activations, theater. I perform, I act, I MC, and that's the stuff I studied for. And that's the stuff that I went to school and got trained in, and I'm good at it and I'm doing well at it. But it took me to understand that I can make it work with my gifts, with my talent, with my gifts, and with my training, and with the education that I worked for in order for me to end up getting it. Not because someone else is expecting me to do it, but because I feel the need. If I said I want to go to varsity and get a degree and get trained in something, then why did I even start to doing that if that's not what I wanted initially? So you need to understand that it's not about... Families sometimes can, there's families that disown you, there's families that talk to you, parents withdraw, paying for your fees. Some families do hectic things. And I can't justify which family must do what and tell which family. But I'm saying to you is that the biggest thing is that I had people that supported me and spoke to me. And sometimes we don't hear people when they tell us the truth, when we are wasting time, when we're just being lazy. Because there's a phase where you are lazy. In all the 10 years, there's no year where me struggling to finish a degree or getting expelled at WITS was about, it was tough, I was going through tough times, there was a death in the family. No. I must take away that fallacy, because that's what we usually do, especially people that are driven by certain things. Because you get to varsity and you find out that there's more things that you love outside of your academics, and the more you get involved in those things become more exciting than your books. But then you forget why you came to varsity in the first place. And then now when things are not going well, then you try to figure out other things outside of you to blame for you not succeeding. Instead of just being honest with yourself that, okay, I'm not passionate about books. I hate essay writing, or I hate attending lectures. I hate writing tests. I hate the whole concept of an institution, of going to class and things like that. I want to be free. I want to, whatever you reason it out to be. But in the day, you need to sit back with yourself and say, but if I want to be successful, if education is not going to assist me, then how am I going to implement things that are going to assist me in order to still be successful without education? Because you can't do the other without the other. If you think education won't assist you in you being successful, then implement things that are going to help you be successful. Don't now drop out of school and go back home and still become a problem to your parents, to your siblings, or to whoever is taking care of you. And then again, then you feel like everyone is hating on you and everyone doesn't believe in what you're starting to do. But you made the conscious decision to say, varsity is not my way to success, therefore implement something. Think about it. If you're a painter, a writer, a lyricist, whatever you are you good with numbers, are you good with IT, whatever, then find means. There's means. If you are passionate about something, then you're going to be driven to find out, how do I make it work for myself? Because it's not going to come to you. It's not going to be handed to you. It's not going to be given to you. There are fortunate people who do get given things. But if you are in my position, and at some point you were not given anything, and you have nowhere to start, and you had to pay your own fees through varsity, and no one has to blame with your unsuccessful life, because no one is there to blame, because no one is telling you to do what you're doing, and you continue doing it, or you are forcing yourself to do things that you're trying to please. No. Talk to yourself and ask yourself, what is it that am I doing, and do I want to do it? And if I want to do it, how am I going to succeed in doing that? Because at the end of the day, no one else is going to make it for you. No one else is going to buy that Lamborghini for you. No one else is going to, I'm not talking to people who have the financial means in their families. I'm talking to people who, it's them that must make it work. It's them that must make everything. They've got a family that's saying, we're also looking up to you. Would you be successful, Baba? Stand on your own, So at some point, we all need to believe, Uguti, don't waste your time with fake friends that are going to make you happy in that moment where you feel like your ego needs to be boosted. Everyone is like, you the shit, you the what. No. Don't, be very clever not to fall into those traps where you meet momentary friends. And it's good. It's easy to see people that are not there to stay in your life. Look at when they become relevant. Look at when they remember you. Look at when you actually need them, who is actually there. Look at the toughest times in your life. Think about the highest moments of your excitement, who's the first person you think about? Think about when you're at the deepest, in the lowest point in your life. Who are the people that you think about and who actually come through for you and who actually care about you? That's what you need to think about. So I'm just sharing this. I don't know if there'll be more of these videos, but I woke up this morning and I felt like I needed to speak to someone who's sitting there and has a passion for something or loves to do something, but they're either lazy or they've either rationalized themselves that they don't need to push any harder. They want to give up on life. They want to sit home and, become, unambitious beings that none of us in all creation, in all honesty, were created to just loaf around and be unsuccessful and be bored and be someone's problems and be told, and then you live your life of regret or accepting that you were designed or created just to be a mere person who lives generally in South Africa and has no ambition or no knowledge or no ambitions of being anything but just a bum on a seat and just eating and sleeping every day for the rest of their lives. I don't believe God created any of us to be like that. I believe we're all being created to be great. And it took my bold step. It's not easy. No one says it's easy. I was excluded of this 3 times. 3 times I was excluded. What does it do to an individual psychologically to believe that they can be excluded from a higher education institution and still believe that they could go back at any point and go and study again and believe that school is for them and they could even finish a degree? Psychologically, there's people who get excluded once and give up all their lives and throw the towel. I was excluded 3 times, but in those 3 times, I still went back and believed, Uguti, I need to finish this because it's for me, it's my training, and it's what I need in order for me to be able to excel in the gift that I have in terms of theater, in terms of creating art, and in terms of touching people's lives, which is what I do daily. And it's because of the training I got at Wits University and the knowledge that I learned from all the different facets that I was part of in terms of varsity. So it's not but it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that I wanted something, and at some point I was blind, and there was some point where I was not seeing where I want to go. There was a point where I was not listening to the people that actually cared about me, who wanted me to go a certain direction, but they had to leave me in order for me to find it by myself. So I'm asking you as well, don't give up wherever you are. Don't throw the towel. Don't repeat the same mistakes that I have. Change your attitude towards your studies. If studies are feeling like they're taking back, you've started this thing. Whether you're at second year, whether you're third year, whether you're in your final year, whether in your first year, you've started it, finish it. But if you engage your life into it, make sure that you make it work for you at some point. Yes, there's many people who've started something and then now are working somewhere else. That's fine. But I'm saying that if you've chosen and you're sticking something through, then stick it through to the end, hold on, and find ways of making the effort that you're putting in to be then replicated by the success that it brings you. Whether it brings you knowledge for something else you want to go through, whether it gives you certain aspects and ideas and whatever for other things you want to get part to, it's not futile. I don't believe any form of education is futile. There's no such thing. It just opens your perspective to certain things and different ideas and different ways in which, if maybe you are not an office person or a 9-to-5 person, but at least your knowledge of accounting, of law, of maths, of physics or whatever can make you understand in terms of how do you implement the such same principles that you've learned there in whatever then career you want to pursue in your life. So don't drop something based on just a momentary feeling or a momentary regret moment, and don't repeat other people's mistakes. It doesn't make you the same as them. It doesn't make you that you're going to be a millionaire just because Bill Gates went through ABC. Now you feel like you must go through ABC because Bill Gates did it so that you can one day be a millionaire and tell a story like Bill Gates. No, not every successful person needs to have a tragic story in their background. That's not how the tale goes. You don't have to have a broken past or a broken problem, a broken situation for you to then one day and want to stand up and say, I'm rich or I'm successful or I'm great at what I do because I went through a tough time in my life. You don't have to go through a tough time. Some of you are very privileged and have all the means for you to be great in whatever you do. So stop becoming lazy. Stop becoming complacent. Stop thinking that the world is against you. Just think, how can I take this and convert it into me becoming greater? Because I have the opportunity now to be great. Let me not waste time just because other people have done it. Now I must repeat. No, you don't need to waste time. There's no need. But also never, never and never ever measure your success according to someone else. Because how they succeed and your way of succeeding will never be the same. How they get there and how you get there is never going to be in the same wavelength, same timeline. It's never going to happen. So never measure yourself according to other people. Stick to your story and your journey and fight for it. Work hard for it, hustle for it, and make it sustainable for you and for your life. And make sure that you achieve the dreams that you want. Not the ones of your great-grandfather, great-grandmother. Because at some point, pushing other people's dreams, you get to a point where you get tired and want to rebel, and then you feel that you can justify dropping a dream because it was never yours. So create your own dreams, find out what your own dreams are, find out where you are, how do you need to get there, and then work on that. No one else is going to do it, mama, or baba, or sise, or pote. No one else is going to do it. And parents, friends, support people. Make them understand. Go back to their level. Sometimes it's hard as a parent, as a sister, as a brother, to understand what your child is going through or what your sibling is going through, and you think, what's going on, what's wrong? Sometimes go to their level and find out what's going on in their head. And I hope this puts a light into it, to understand your sibling, your cousin, whoever, who sometimes goes through a phase of ambition, or wants to just party, turn up, or wants to just be, I don't know, do whatever he wants to do, walk the streets, play whatever he wants to play soccer all day, every night. He doesn't want to go to class, and he's a problem, and you feel like he's a problem. He's not. He's just great at something, and you just need to pinpoint what it is that he wants to spend his time in. Then the moment you support that, then he feels, or they feel that there is some sense of support that's happening, and then slowly they start listening to you and how you now start penetrating in your smartness in terms of pushing them in the direction of maybe getting an education if that's what they need, or making them realize how then they can turn this talent or gift into something that can potentially make them successful in life and be able to take care of themselves. So don't just shove them under the bus and say, Unkulunkulu, take the wheel. Not everything God can take the wheel in. Sometimes people do need a nip. They need to be pushed. They need to be, and naughty guys that are passionate, that have gifts, that are stubborn, that feel like our family is not. Sometimes we do need to stop and listen. Because these people, our families, our friends, have a point at some point in our lives where they're doing all of this out of love and not of hate. So let's give them a listen and take some of the things that we need from what they're saying and implement them, and see how listening to some things can actually help you. One line, one great guy said to me that you must always live within your means. Until this day, there was a time where I never listened, but the day I learned that and I implemented in my life is where I am now. And I'm able to say, I listened to you, my brother, and thank you so much for being there when I felt like no one else was. But yeah, that's just it. Just my 2 cents to make you understand. Maybe if you are not understanding, don't give up, guys. We all are great and we're all made to be great. So let's not play around and fool around with our time. Yeah, let's go be great, man. Be greater today than you were yesterday.